We are now live.
Better. This is.
Did we lose
better.
everybody?
No, we didn't lose everybody. They're still here.
I can't imagine.
Anyway, this is much better. I like this layout. It gives everybody a little chance to breathe.
Yeah, I agree. I like it better too.
Okay. Well, I think it's all in favor. Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good. We have a quorum. Is that what they say?
Yes.
Guys, in the last 45 minutes, Scientology has uploaded 9 new videos about me for a total of 22 videos.
Wow. I'm telling you.
I didn't even know they did that many.
I'm telling you guys, we have done something. There's something that we hit on, or there's something, or it could also be that the Aftermath Foundation has been helping so many Scientologists leave Scientology, so many Sea Org members leaving Scientology. They cannot afford to lose a single person. They have so few people now. So I think it could be that. It could be the Where's Shelley, because they're going crazy on Leah right now.
That stuff immediately gets a reaction.
Yeah.
Where's Shelley? When Jared Carmichael did that on the Golden Globes, they started going crazy. Now John Oliver bringing it up and it trending on Twitter. You know that they're getting their asses kicked in OSA today, that they have to come up with something. That some people are being told you got to get more videos done. It's this whole thing that the judge rejecting Miscavige's request to respond to the effort to get him, included as served in the case. All of this stuff has huge impact. And just the very fact that they cannot control or shut down these channels is just driving them absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and there's got to be somebody who has no idea that they're paying us, right? Like they have to just not know, right, Aaron?
When you say someone, what do you mean?
Like Scientology's paying us to do these videos.
Yes.
That it's impossible that they know that.
So, Mike, I'm curious. Do you think Miscavige would actually be the ones to say, make sure you're running our Scientology ads on all those SP's videos, or do you think he would be pissed off that it's happening?
I think that he probably issued the order originally, like many other things. But now if he found out, he'd be pissed and be blaming someone for having done such a stupid fucking thing. How could anybody ever consider doing something like that?
Yeah, like people are sending me screenshots all the time. I don't know if they send you them, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying, hey, I just saw a Top Gun video ad on your channel, or I just saw a Scientology video. Oh, hey, look at that.
Sorry.
Is that's the SPTV crew right there.
I was going to bring that up in a minute, and I just clicked on the button, and it's there now.
That's what we look like in our civvies, guys.
That is cruising.
Yeah. I realized it was so funny when there's a group picture of us. We took other pictures with all of our families and everything. And I go, oh my God, I can't believe I was so lazy. I didn't even put on a tie. And then I said, Claire, how did I not even end up wearing a tie? And I was like, gosh, I feel so horrible. I look like a slob. I'm the only person not wearing a tie. Without missing a beat, Claire goes, no, Aaron's not wearing a tie either.
And he's not wearing a jacket.
Oh, anyway, my God.
Andy's wearing jeans.
You made me feel a lot better about myself after that.
But look at Claire.
I know.
Did you see how Claire looked? I'm gonna bring this up.
Well,
again.
Yeah, it's not.
By the way, if I knew we were going to take the picture, I would have, at least, I don't know, buttoned an extra button up or something.
That's the whole entire reason we dress up is for the pictures, Aaron.
I didn't dress up. We didn't get the photo package. We didn't do that.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
There's always one.
Anyway, we are doing something, Mike, that is freaking them out. But I don't know, and I don't even know that it's us. It could just be the Where's Shelley stuff, but for them to do, how many did you say? 22 new videos.
Well, I mean, they're
9 new
recycled. They're recycled videos. They're not all
But
brand
these
new.
9 new ones are 9 additional videos and to all the ones that were there.
Newly uploaded to their new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a new channel now.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say the name just to not give them the promotion.
Well, people can go over there and thumbs downs their shit.
I think it's wrong to promote the channel.
No, we're not promoting it. If you happen upon this sleaze fest of a YouTube channel, go ahead and thumbs down some shit for us. Scientology used to do that a lot, where they would do stuff on Twitter, Yeah. And people would send it to me every once in a while. I'm blocked by almost every single Scientology troll, so I never get to see anything. But every once in a while, when one slips through the cracks, like a new one, and I look at it, I just happen to see it. I go, oh my gosh, how many people? Oh, they tweeted a picture of me drunk on hot. And I look, I'm like, oh, 6 people liked it. I'm like, 6? Damn, that's hard, guys. Oh, so you guys are failing hard on the internet.
Right.
This what's incredible. I mean, their YouTube channel, the videos have about like 16 views. Like even the videos they uploaded in the last hour, some of them still have 0 views. Like if I upload a video, it's not getting less than 5,000 views in the first hour.
Right.
I could upload a picture of a steaming dump and it would get thousands of views.
I could take a picture of a small rodent in a cup of coffee and it'd get more than their views in now.
Hey, we're off your channel.
Yeah. See?
Oh, so the moratorium is over. Yeah, Aaron, time to get a bucket.
Yeah, we could have a rat cam over at the Blown for Good channel. When we're not live, we just have a streaming a coffee cup with a tail hanging out of it. Also,
lovely.
Somebody said if you did start up that coffee company, the detailed rat, that would be decaf. If it didn't have it, no tail is decaf. If you want to get can I get a rat espresso, no tail?
Okay, let's do some questions here. Whenever you guys mention the AMF, the Aftermath Foundation, you should remind people that COS won't interfere if they know you're involved. I think it's a huge selling point.
That's
Good
true.
point.
That's true. That is a great point. As soon as we've got them, they're burned. They're not going back. So
right.
If you have a family member that needs help escaping, or you just know you have a friend in Scientology that you might not be in Scientology, you may have drifted away from Scientology, and they're still in and they're trying to get out of the Sea Org, or they're trying to get off staff and they don't know what they have to get a new job or whatever. Tell them about the Aftermath Foundation. We have had more family and friends. That is actually how these people mostly find out about us, is from family and friends. If you've got a discreet conversation that's taking place, not through the mail system. Scientology looks through all the mail that people get. So if you send them something in a letter, if they're a Sea Org member,
without naming names.
Oh, like
just
you like to do.
An interesting anecdote. This is one of the craziest things that when we started this foundation, we never would have imagined. We were in contact with a Sea Org member who was still in the Sea Org and wanted to leave, but still had property on the base that they didn't know how to get and leave. We arranged for this Sea Org member to retain an attorney. So just imagine, and as a Sea Org member who was still on post, their attorney emailed Scientology's attorney and said, as of now, you are to cease any and all communications with my client, Joe Blow, who's still, right? Mm-hmm. And have all their possessions delivered at this time and this place. You have to imagine Rick Moxon would have just shit a brick. That's something that he'd never experienced before.
Yeah. And that's another funny thing that I thought about is when we left, Claire and I left, we left all of our belongings there. Well, because Sea Org members, most Sea Org members are wholly uneducated about the laws and personal possessions and access to them and stuff like that. We didn't know that we had all the rights in the world just to go back to that property and take our belongings. If we could have called the sheriff and said, we used to live in this house. We no longer work for Scientology. They won't give us our stuff. We'd like to go to our old residence and collect our property. The sheriffs could have taken us there. We could have walked in. We could have had a moving truck, and we could have moved everything right out of our house. And law enforcement would have facilitated that. But because you don't know when you're in the Sea Org, they keep your stuff and they kind of hold your stuff ransom until you do what they want you to do. And they do all these other things. But if one of your family members, and you can have a conversation with them and tell them about the Aftermath Foundation and that the Aftermath Foundation is specifically for those people, and then it's made up of ex-Sea Org members that know that this is a problem, that person is much more likely to think that there's a possibility they could leave.
Yep, absolutely right.
Because that is one of the main deterrents to leaving, is just not knowing how to do it.
Yep.
Never having done it before.
Wendy Fisher, thank you. Catherine S., reminder, Aaron plus LRH plus swearing.
Okay, so here's the question. Someone asked me yesterday, the culture of just over-the-top swearing in Scientology.
Yeah.
Mike, in your experience, did that come from LRH or just some culture from the ship, or what was the deal there?
No, it did. I don't think that it really came from Hubbard. I mean, he swore.
Yeah.
He did, but
Yeah.
not as much as like Miscavige swears.
But that's the same thing. LRH did it, and it was fine. It wasn't it wasn't frowned upon.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's what happens, Aaron. Like, it becomes acceptable. Things that are sort of abnormal, hitting people in the face, it becomes acceptable. So then more and more people start doing it. And they know that they can get away with it because the guy at the top has gotten away with it and sort of set that precedent. So
it's part of the culture.
That's exactly what it is. And that's exactly true. Because when I was at Flag, the fact that people would see Don Jason rough some people up created a culture where, just like you said, it's acceptable, so it happens more.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, if Don Jason will do it, because he know that if Dave finds out, Dave's going to think, oh, that he's
cool. Don is with doing the program.
What he should be doing, not that he's going to get in trouble. That's the best part. If somebody finds out you did something wrong, you're going to think that you're going to be thought more highly upon. So the more you do it, or the more it gets done, it's just like it's part of the culture.
Yep. Ex-wife. It's cloudy with a chance of showers on target 2.
Oh, okay. Wow. They're coming out of the woodwork for these, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Destiny. Hi, Mike. Have you ever heard about the LV org being linked to the mob in the late 90s? No, I haven't.
I've heard about this.
You have?
Yeah. We should get, I'm trying to think of who I heard it from. I think it might have been from a Vegas, somebody who lives in Vegas, or somebody that was in the Sea Org in Vegas, in the staff in Vegas. But there is some Vegas connection into the mob in Scientology. There's a story about it. I don't remember who I heard it from. I'm going to have to ask around. But if anybody knows about it, email us, because I've heard rumblings about this before. And I always thought it was just like folklore, some of these things you hear about. But then somebody comes out and they're like, oh, no, I was there. This is what happened.
Okay. Amanda Johnson, History of Man for $4. Read it to page 18. I got cellular injury to my brain, now at a higher risk of stroke because I read that. Literally a word lobotomy. Oh, Amanda, I want to take what you said there and use that somewhere.
That should be the perfect Amazon review. That's it. That should be the number one review on Amazon.
Okay, everybody go to Amazon, post your review of History of Man.
Now at a risk of a stroke.
This book gave me cellular damage in my brain.
Yeah, I stroked out twice after reading this.
Confirmed by MRI.
Oh, God. Jacob Hockey, welcome back. Aaron mentioned the other day that he wanted somebody to ask this tonight. Mike, did L. Ron Hubbard swear much?
Yes.
Well, we just had that question.
Well, yeah,
so,
everybody asked.
yep.
But here, in honor of it being a repeat question, let me ask you this. Mike, do you think that Scientology can create narcissists or sociopaths, or do you think it attracts them, or do you think it creates them? I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, but what are your thoughts?
I think it creates them, but I think that you have to have a inherent, fundamental sociopathic personality, and it enhances that. That's David Miscavige. I think that a lot of people start what in Scientology you would say dramatizing sociopathic tendencies, because that is what, and particularly in the Sea Org, that is what the accepted behavior patterns that make you a success or make you more likely to stay out of trouble dictate. That's that. And so it is a breeding ground for abusive behavior and sociopathic tendencies, because people do that to survive.
Good answer.
Yeah. Also, by the way, when we edited, working over the audio visual production lines at Gold, we edited L. Ron Hubbard saying the N-word out of many, many, many lectures.
No.
Absolutely, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
It was like a main directive to scour those things and find all the N-words and cut them out.
And
he was a frequent user of that word. And he also said,
chinks.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but it's your channel, dude. You can say the N-word. The C word does not really mean that. So I guess you have to say the, I was going to say an Asian slur. That's what I was going to say. Anyway, yes, we did edit that out. And he also talked like that too, Aaron. In some,
yeah, like
he would pretend
imitating
the people that he was talking about, that he was using the explicatives. Both of the versions we just mentioned, he would imitate both of them in lectures.
Wow.
So yeah, anybody who used to work at Golden Era Productions that worked on the audio production, like the audio lecture editing line, is well aware of this. And there's many, like we would take out coughs and sniffs and slurps and stuff like that too, and burps and farts and all that good stuff. But we would also take out expletives and things that would be looked frownly upon if they were heard.
Yes.
And I think he is, before we end, I just have to say, he is also, I think L. Ron Hubbard might have been the first person to do a double flute salute, which is where you burp and you fart at the same time. So just saying. It's recorded, so it's like a kind of a documented proof where there's not a lot of people who have recorded themselves talking and burping and farting for as many hundreds of hours as L. Ron Hubbard. So the fact that he would be recorded doing the first double flute salute is a pretty amazing thing. Shout out to Tom Segura. I'm pretty sure it's called the double flute salute, but anyway, he did it.
Okay, John, do you think someday there will be more ex-Scientologists, YouTubers than actual Scientologists?
That's not far.
Absolutely.
We're almost there right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're getting close. Okay.
Somebody turn the lights out when you leave Scientology.
Marjan, Goldie is #1 rock star. Absolutely true. Okay, Tanya Tyler. Super sticker. Thank you, Tanya. All from New Zealand? Lovely. My buddies down under. Calico 26. Mark, what was it like working with Ron Sr. in the Sea Org? R.I.P. Ron.
Oh, Ron was awesome. Ron was actually pretty funny. Ron is like your uncle or your grandfather that just says inappropriate things. And
exactly. He's like drunk uncle on SNL.
Yeah. You know, Ron Miscavige, he wrote a book. Okay. He wrote like a little book of short stories, and he sent it to me. He was still believed in Scientology and he didn't want to make any problems. And, but he had escaped from the international headquarters. Anyway, he wrote this book of short stories. He sends it to me. We were talking all the time. And he says, hey, I got this thing. And I said, okay, whatever. But there's this one story in there. You got to fix the verbiage on it. It's just inappropriate. And he goes, what? And I go, you're supposed to say little people. You can't say the M word. And he goes, oh no, it's hilarious. You got to read the story. I'm like, I've read the story. You just can't call them that. Anyway, not only did he leave the story in there, he titled the book the name of that short story, which I'll say, and I'll just...
You can say it.
You can say it? Okay, it's called Hideouts for... a Perfect Hideout
Midgets
for
on the
Midgets
Lamb.
on the Lamb. Okay, now that wasn't the reason I told him the story was problematic. I said, everyone's gonna think, the book's by Ron Miscavige Sr. Everyone's gonna think a book called Hideouts for Midgets on the Lamb, they're gonna think it's about your son. Because he's a midget and he's probably going to be on the lam at some point. He's probably going to want to know about some of these hideouts you got going. Anyway, it was not about that. But anyway, so that's Ron Miscavige. Okay. He's just a fun.
That's a perfect anecdote.
Yeah. He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy.
Okay. What's happening? Bob, Sylvie, Mike, are you sure you went on the cruise? You look more white than when you left. Oh, hi, Osa. Yeah, I am sure I went on the cruise, and I take massive precautions to make sure that I do not get in the sun. I have had 2 skin cancer operations on my face already. I don't want to have another one. So if you ever saw me when we all go out somewhere to the beach, I've got this big hat. I plaster myself with it. I wear long sleeve shirts. I'm like, everybody else is getting sunburn and pissing and moaning later on in the day about how bad they feel.
Mike is the only person who is not complaining about being burnt in the sun.
Mike would have so much zinc oxide on his face that if he was on a surfboard, he could pass for Mark Zuckerberg.
I thought we were on a vacation with Casper the Ghost at one point.
Guys.
Did the mayor blow? Did the mayor
of
Clearwater
he quit
blow
today.
Post?
Hey, let me just answer this one, and then we'll talk about the mayor. MJ8327. Hey there, fellas. I've been chomping at the bit to ask you this question for years. Where do you get your ideas from? Well, we all grew up in a cult.
Yeah.
That's where we get our ideas from.
What ideas?
Yeah, we don't have ideas. We're just yapping.
Ideas.
This is literally kind of what we were talking about at one point when we were talking on one of these cruises. We go on these cruises all the time, guys. We didn't just do that this year. We've been doing these for years. But we'd be sitting around yip-yapping about something, or something would happen, or there'd be a new video about me or Aaron, and we start joking around about it. And then we must have mentioned it like 5 or 6 different times. Said this is the video. This is what we should be videoing, because we're laughing. Like sometimes we have to stop talking. We're laughing so hard rolling around on the ground that we just have to stop.
It's so true. I mean, I mentioned it was a few weeks ago. I said, guys, do you remember when we'd just be hanging out in like Breckenridge or,
yes.
Whatever the hell that other place we went to between you and, anyway. And I'd be like, this is what I want people to be able to watch and listen to. But it was never realistic. It was just an idea.
Yes.
And yet that's what YouTube has become.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, exactly.
And
anyway,
also, it's hard to fake this, guys. It's very hard. It would be hard for us to do this, like if we had a script or
like
something.
a written script. Yeah, can you imagine?
We can barely do it. We can barely fluff through this when we're trying to do it.
In fact, one of the great ideas that we had on the cruise was to do a fictional reenactment of how Osa comes up with all of these horrible ideas that they roll out.
Yeah, we were going to workshop
the brainstorm session.
We were going to workshop one of these hate videos, and we were going to kind of start throwing stuff at the wall, and then somehow in the end come up with the product of one of these ridiculous hate videos. And it should be a hamster. No, a hamster's not real. Where's he going to get a hamster? No, it could be a squirrel. How are you going to get his hands on a squirrel? It could be a rat.
It could be a rat.
That's what
that
it is.
Would be perfect.
He's going to have a rat.
And Mark hates rats, so that'll really piss him off.
Yeah, and maybe he'll even throw up while he's talking about it.
Anyway, yes, back to the issue. Yes, Frank Hubbard literally resigned in the middle of a city council meeting.
But Mike, is there a question about it? You got to bring up.
Yeah,
is there a question?
Well, there's been questions in every video.
There was in each one we've seen. I can't see it right now, but I'll see if I can find one.
Somebody paid for a super chat asking about Hubbard, and I want to say at least 3 or 4 people have done so.
Yeah,
as of now.
So every other Monday, the Clearwater City Council has a work session that starts at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous. And then the following Thursday, they have the actual city council meeting where they vote. In the Monday's work session, they talk about the agenda items. They get the items that are going to be on the consensus agenda, so they know what's going to pass unanimously. They know it needs to be put to a vote. In the middle of a discussion about the budget priorities, Frank Hubbard asked for a recess, came back, said he was quitting on the spot, packed up his bag, and walked out of the chambers.
That was it.
That was it. And then he went to his office before the work session was even over. Hubbard, who has his personal offices just a few floors above City Hall, had already had one of his coworkers in his private business bring a cart down to his mayor's office, load up all of his personal effects. He had already cleared out his mayor's office before the city council work session was over. Guess who becomes vice mayor in 10 days?
Mark Bunker.
Mark Bunker.
This is amazing.
Seriously? Yes. Catherine Beekman, is that by London? How is that selected?
Well, no. The non-mayoral council members take turns becoming vice mayor.
Oh,
and Catherine just happens to be, and it's his turn next.
Yeah, in fact, it was supposed to be his turn, but he wasn't. He was having some health problems, and he said, "Let me give it to Kathleen," and that was 355 days ago. So in 10 days, it's Mark's turn to be vice mayor, and there's no mayor.
That is like poetic.
It is.
That is almost
amazing.
The ultimate in irony.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So now they have to appoint someone to be mayor for the next year.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Wow. It doesn't go to a vote or anything?
No.
They just get to decide.
Not for a year.
That Frank Hubbard had already said he wasn't running for re-election, but if he was running for re-election, that election would be basically 1 year from now.
Wow.
So someone is going to be appointed, which is actually going to be very difficult because you have Kathleen and Mark, who are both very sort of lefties. Yeah. And then you have Lena and David Albritton, who are both pretty much righties. I'm sure Lena would object to that, but she is. She pretends to be a lefty, but she's not. And so these people it's going to be very difficult to get 3 of the 4 remaining council members to agree.
And we don't know why he quit.
Oh, he quit because he is in disagreement with the other 4 members of the council and keeps getting voted 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he was throwing a fit in the last few meetings. He's been very busy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think he's got some undiagnosed mental problems personally, but what do I know? I grew up in a cult. No, he was pissed off because everyone wants to move forward with building a new city hall for $90 million, but there's a $60 million budget shortfall. And he was basically like, if I can't get this council to do what I want, I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home. It's a really poor leadership, to be honest. Like, so you only want to be mayor if everyone's doing what you want. So you're not actually being a leader. You're kind of just being a bully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see.
Yep.
I was going to say that's the difference between a leader and a boss. And that's why Scientology, David Miscavige is a boss baby. He's not the leader of Scientology. He's the boss of Scientology.
And he is happy to be
my goodness.
known as the boss.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to put this one up from Stephanie.
Oh my
Now
goodness.
that I'm PR for both Mike and Leah, I wanted to spread the wealth. Love you guys. Stephanie, we love you.
She's
we
so
love
amazing.
You.
She picks the best fights.
I know. Your piece today or yesterday, whenever it was, about the latest attack on Leah and bringing back up the coffee company is absolutely classic. I am going to do a video about that. So thank you, Stephanie. Big Pharma checks are on their way. Just be patient. Okay, let's see. Gary Jackson Moorhead is in the house. I remember Skeeter demonstrating to me his finding and one of these statements.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure that's the N word.
Skeeter is a guy named Cliff Thomas that used to be in the lecture editing. He was a mixer, and he also just happened to be one of the handful of African Americans we had working at the international base, one of four.
Five.
Gary says he remembers Skeeter, this guy, demonstrating to him finding these L. Ron Hubbard mentioning the N-word. And that would be an awkward moment, I'd say.
Guys, you have to tell. Is mentioning it like quoting someone else?
No.
Literally
saying
using that term to describe.
Yeah, in a very derogatory manner.
Oh,
not loose. And we're talking get your hood on kind of talk. Like crazy talk.
Aaron, I did a posting about this on my blog called The Racist Statements of L. Ron Hubbard or something. Just laying out the ones that still exist.
Yeah, there's a
or
bunch
that are still findable.
Around. Yeah.
I mean, the references that the worst period for Hubbard was when he was in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like in the early 60s when he was a big supporter of the apartheid regime.
He went hard.
He went hard on how the Bantu are uneducatable. They lie about everything. They don't read on an e-meter. They're basically, one step up from apes. I mean, it's like totally crazy, racist bullshit.
Like
it's
Aaron,
horrible.
that they're subhuman. That's why they don't read on an e-meter, because they're not like everybody else.
Right.
Like we're trying to play
be
it cool here on
correct
YouTube,
here.
But it was like L. Ron Hubbard would be. This is why, and maybe this is why we have such a crazy reaction to this NOI insanity, because we are like, there's no question that he was a raving racist, and that the NOI have partnered with them is sort of like insanity. Like it's like they need to read that book, How to Judge People and Do Well, or whatever it is. Like NOI are like off the mark on Hubbard.
Oh, Mark Fisher. Hey, Mark. Epic Cards Against Humanity games makes me happy. Yeah, there were some good ones.
I've got all the expansion packs.
And there are ones where Aaron could neither read the card nor hear the response at all, because he was his laugh was echoing throughout the entire ship. Becca Baca, yay! I finally get to catch you guys live from Australia. Hi, Becca. Just talking about coming back to Australia today. Chris Mills, is there a place to picnic in front of the Fort Harrison when my family comes on vacation? Finished Mark's and Mike's books, waiting for Aaron's.
Thank you, Chris.
You know where you could picnic, though? It's not open yet. In June, the new amphitheater across from the Sandcastle will be open. And that is a perfect venue for a picnic.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Like
it's done already?
Well, I mean, it's opening in 2 months, Mark. It's like basically done. Yeah.
Wow. They were just
they're doing landscaping and installing the seating and that sort of stuff now.
Wow. That's they're going fast down there.
Cat and Maggie. Claire, Mark, and Mike look beyond fabulous. Aaron looks like a Tuesday.
I think she means I always look fabulous.
I think that's what that means too, but I'm not totally sure.
That was sort of a backhanded compliment, I think.
William Tubb, I can't recognize AA Ron in that black shirt.
Next Tuesday, I'm wearing the black Caribbean shirt.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
What's happening on Tuesday?
Denver Stevio.
I'm sorry.
Welcome
Monday.
back, Claire and the boys. Glad you're back to film my daily SPTV content. Just a reminder that Denver Stevio this week will be premiering later this spring SPTV like you've never seen it before.
Oh,
Nice.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome. Join the fun. RV at the beach. Mark, you definitely married up.
Oh yeah, no, that's been.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's been.
We all
fact
know that.
since day one. Yeah.
We all know. Me too.
I put my pole in the water at the exact right time.
Yep. Linda NS, did you catch Jimmy Kimmel's jab at Scientology and TC at Academy Awards? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, it's everywhere. Hubba
just-
bubba.
Yeah, just in case you guys don't know, if anything happens in the Scientology world, we usually know about it because there's about 1,000 people who will send us something when it does.
Yep. Okay, Marjan, I hope you guys are doing something for Goldie. That is a very good point. We discussed some things when we were on the
We
cruise.
have to ask Claire about that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we have a plan.
Okay, Danny Crook, does the Sea Org see Edge of Tomorrow as what Battlefield Earth was supposed to be? The whole film reminds me of the Freedom Mag We Come Back ads.
I was long gone by the time that thing aired.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Or
but like we
Battlefield
weren't in,
Earth?
I wasn't in Scientology when that came out, so I don't know what they think about it.
I don't know. I don't know either. I was gone too.
They pretty much suckle on the teat of anything Tom
I mean,
Cruise
it
does.
doesn't really mirror Scientology's idea of
No.
Reincarnation.
picking.
No,
Yeah,
but
it
Picking up
doesn't.
a new body.
But if you ask a Sea Org member about the movie, they're going to tell you, "Oh my God, it was awesome." Yeah.
If you ask me about the movie, I'll say I love Emily Blunt.
I do like.
Who,
me
by
some
the
Emily
way,
Blunt.
it turns out Emily Blunt, not a big fan of Tom Cruise.
I know.
Oh, I have so many stories about that movie that I can't really tell because I have them by professional means from people that worked on it. But there is some amazing Emily Blunt stories, and there are some amazing Tom Cruise stories.
And
Oh,
the
yes,
fact that
there are.
someone like Emily Blunt came away with such a horrible impression of Tom Cruise is why this dude cannot find and keep a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Meaning, if Tom, like, my point, like, one is a reflection of the other. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Emily Blunt's a very sweet person. You have to be quite a dick to create a really bad impression in her. And that's the impression he creates in most people who aren't paid to kiss his butt.
Well, I was gonna just say, in one of the Mission Impossible movies, he was the love interest was played by this gal named Tandy Newton. Have you ever seen?
Yes. From that HBO show.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, so she's a baddie. She's a she's
Goody baddie.
She's an awesome character on that show. Anyway, she had a horrible experience with him too. I seem to remember her talking about it, like saying he was just very desperate and very like she got the impression that he felt he was the only person that was going to make the movie awesome, and it was all on his shoulders, and that he was struggling to do that based on some of the scenes that they had done together. And they were doing takes over, and it was just like, she was just like, "What's going on, dude? We're doing a movie, genius." Anyway.
Okay, so Annie Kurtz is the COS running a live right now.
Oh, COS running a live right now.
I think the Scientology channel is always running a live.
Oh, they just have it in live mode, but they're playing a video.
But they don't disclose how many people are watching the live.
Oh, I wonder
that's
why.
awesome.
Yeah, this live started streaming on March 11th. That was 9 days ago.
They must be
That's
tired
awesome.
by now.
How does that work?
They probably need to go to the bathroom.
They just have a video playing on loop.
It's
That's
the
so
same.
weird.
It's the same. It's so funny. The same thing you can watch on DirecTV. You can just watch 24 hours a day on their YouTube live stream.
Right.
It's only $10 million cheaper on YouTube.
Exactly.
Stephanie, appreciate the work you're doing. Thanks, Stephanie.
Hmm.
Okay. Denver Stevio, since you've gone, Osa still smells like poo. Since you've been gone, Osa still smells like... Okay. Okay. We're
if they were
running
doing-
overtime.
I wonder
as
if they were
usual.
doing all those videos where we were on the cruise there, and that was the order.
Yeah.
But they bet you better get those videos up before they get back from their cruise.
So, Mike, you're at 2,400 people watching live. If you ever break 2,800, we can officially say you filled more than Ruth Eckerd Hall. And how many people fit in the shrine?
Oh,
It's
the
about
shrine
this-
is like 5,600 or
with the balcony. Which
Okay,
they
but
never
Ruth
have.
Eckert's like 2,800.
no, I thought it was 23. We
Yeah,
can
it's
look it up.
300.
You've
I
got
think it's
more.
23, and we're over that already.
There you go.
Okay,
Suck on that,
XXX.
Suck on
Question
that,
for the
Dave.
gang. What kind of people survived around Miscavige the longest? Did the pit bulls, e.g. Jenny Linson, or the people who kept them themselves survive longer? Obviously, still not for long. It's an interesting question.
It's a mix.
Yeah, I don't
The
know that
people
there
that-
is.
I
don't
said
know.
the people that keep their head down and just do their thing and don't make any noise, they'll stay there until the end of time because they're not on David Miscavige's radar. They're
Right.
just in the back room somewhere. He doesn't even have any interaction with them.
Yeah.
The people that stay around with Dave are the people that put up with Dave's nonsense. And
That's true.
And when you
And
and when you can't put up with it anymore, you leave.
That's true. And the people who are best at shifting blame to someone else for whatever they may get in trouble for, they figure out how to get someone else on the hook for it.
Otherwise known as backstabbers.
Ella Rach.
Standing on
approves
somebody
this
to get to the
content.
next.
Do you guys get it? LRH?
Yeah,
Yeah.
LRH. It's good. I like it.
We figured that out. Yeah.
very very smart handle.
Okay, Monster in Head. You done messed up, Ron. Now take my K. Crinder and March Edley with you and head down to Vice Principal O'Shag Hennessy's office and tell them what you did.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
My Grinda.
Okay. LJ Vespertil. Idea. A subscriber vid compilation. Individual vids sent to you made into I Stand Tall in Texas with Cracker Licker Mark. Standing Tall in Virginia with SP's Claire Mike Aaron. What a great idea.
Yeah, we'll put a video. Whatever you guys send in. I'm not a big fan of videos. Stills are good. Videos, I mean, you guys are messing up stills. Imagine how you could mess up a video. Oh my goodness.
Bison 5360. Hello from Texas. Glad you're back. I was having withdrawals. We're glad to be back too. Thank you. Rebecca Dunbar. I find it so hilarious that the subs to your channel collectively outnumber COS members globally by approximately 6-1, possibly more. P.S. Mike is devastatingly handsome.
Yeah, we've heard this
thank you,
before,
Rebecca.
folks. We've heard this many times before. It's just
I don't know
Aaron
what
and
to
I
say.
picking up all the slop, all the leftovers.
Don't
here.
say that, Mark. Lisa Robinson. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Okay. Apollonia Paradise. I'm a retired journalist. Rake muck used to be the motto of the Canadian Association of Journalists. I've got the button. You all are so raking it. Thank you.
Isn't that the name of that show? Isn't there a show called Rake?
No, Rake.
Oh,
Mock.
Rake. That's
Yeah.
that's an Australian show that is
Oh, you're right.
brilliant.
I love that
Brilliant.
show.
I love that show.
You want me
Oh.
to blow your mind? The dude
So-
in that show plays Dracula.
I know.
It's crazy.
Okay, so
What?
Google says that muckrake means to search out and publicly expose real or apparent misconduct of a prominent individual or business.
Ah,
Right.
There you go.
Jackson's back. Hey, Mark, that actually happened with Jeff Walker and Andre Tabayoyan with them bringing Riverside Sheriff's Office to the base. Yeah, I remember the Jeff Walker. Thanks, Jackson.
You know, there's a video on YouTube that just posted 24 minutes ago that is titled, it's got a picture of Aaron in a sweater, and it says, ex-Scientologist Aaron Smith Levin made rich by Scientology.
Nuh-uh.
100%, I swear to you. It just posted on YouTube, and it was posted 24 minutes by Radionic Tech Dr. Thor. And it says ex-Scientologist Aaron Smith Levin made rich by Scientology.
Oh,
and,
my.
and then it says more, but I'd have to open it to read.
It's a 40-minute video.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
What?
Well, you'll have to hop over there and watch it when we're done.
I'm sorry
Yeah, I guess.
to disrail. I just looked at it going like, what the hell?
It
is
has
going on?
8 views.
Wow.
Yeah, and
It'll have a
it's
lot
just-
more very soon.
And I think
as
it's
soon
just
as this is
audio
over.
because it's a still picture of the whole video is just a still.
Yeah.
I think
Keith-
Scientology are getting very busy.
Keith Dossett. Did you know Sandy Ergens from CLO? She would send me basic and Congress packages billed to deceased members for delivery in Florida. Ended up with 5 sets.
Oh, I know
Sandy Ergens
Yeah, we all
used to
know
be the
Sandy
sales director, Golden Era Productions, and she was busted. And I think she was sent down to like ASHO or LA Day or something like that. And
Yep.
No, Sandy Ergens and Bernadette Nunn ran the food line in the cafeteria at Main Mess at PAC.
Yep,
Oh
that's
my
right.
God, Bernadette Nunn, the blonde,
Yes.
the blonde woman.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
she wasn't blonde.
She was
Bernadette
blonde.
Nunn. Yeah,
No.
She was like an albino blonde or
Okay.
dirty blonde or
Yeah.
whatever. It
Dirty
wasn't brown.
blonde.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, whatever. Anyway, this routine of going through accounts files to find dead people who have money on account and then using that to purchase books and lectures in the name of someone else is real old school stat push.
Yeah.
That's like original back in the FSO bookstore days. There was a couple of bookstore because bookstore officers used to be the highest paid staff members in the Sea Org because bookstore officers got 10% of their sales by LRH policy. And nobody could ever take that away because the Hubbard policy is very explicit.
Yeah.
He who sells a book gets 10% commission. So these bookstore officers, even though they were Sea Org members, were paid that 10%.
Yeah.
And even if it came off a dead person's account, they got the 10%.
Yeah.
So some of those guys were raking in thousands of dollars a week. I mean, the bookstore officer at the FSO drove some, fancy car. I can't even remember what it was.
Well, we were joking about Dick Story used to be one of these people.
Yeah.
And he used to drive a Maserati. He was a Sea Org member and he drove a Maserati
The way to
Biturbo.
happiness booklets.
Yeah. Well, because
The
he was
way to
selling,
happiness is to make money.
but he was selling 300,000 Way to Happiness booklets at a
Yeah.
time because he'd sell them to dead people.
Karen Swan, there's a book you might still be able to get online. Slavery is Alive and We Are Not Well by Hugh Savage and Ethel Queering. Help to recognize cults.
Oh, wow.
Thanks,
I never
Karen.
heard about that one.
Someone else recommended a book to me that I am reading now that's very interesting about this exact same subject.
Wow.
Chaka Khan. I've never been a Scientologist, but I hate bullies. Keep fighting for what's right. Thanks, Chaka. Believe us, we will. We ain't going anywhere. But
And now
we are
that
going
Scientol-
somewhere. We are going somewhere soon because I just looked at the time.
Yeah.
So we're going to end at whatever time is it? now?
7 on the hour at the top of the hour.
We're going to end on the hour, however many of these things we get through.
And
Meerkat Moon.
Now that
Yeah.
Scientology's paying us, we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it even more.
Yeah, exactly. If they lose tax exempt status, how will that affect their ability to get religious visas for their international ESO people? Oh, that would put a very quick end to that.
Yeah.
Very quick end. Freedom looks good on me.
2023.
2023. Thank you. Freedom looks good on me. 2023. Okay. Apostate Alex read Foster. Apostate Alex read the staff questionnaire and there was nothing about homosexuality, and then they put people in dorms. Huh? I don't know what that staff questionnaire is that's being referred to.
There's definitely questions about
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
man on man action and the other way and vice versa.
Yeah. And that is 100% a disqualification.
It might not be on the class 5 staff, but there's no such thing as a staff questionnaire. What does that even mean? That's not a thing.
I think that's something that they ask you. It's a kind of like a pre-qualifier to get you in the door. And then they ask you the hard questions.
Jude Morrow, I know Dan Feshbeck. I'm autistic and run a marketing company. I think he is too, hence his shunning. Oh, wow.
I got emails from Jude. Yes.
Okay. He invested in some of my clients. Aaron, I emailed you in case you missed it. He's a nice guy and active investor. Oh, I bet he's a nice guy. He's the smart one of the brothers.
He's the smart one. He had a severely autistic nonverbal son. He started investing He created basically a learning management platform for autistic children.
Wow.
Which has been incredibly successful, and he invests in businesses founded by autistic people.
That's
and out
amazing.
of all the Feshbach brothers, he's the one who's actually wealthy. He's almost a billionaire. And the fact that his son was under psychiatric care, whatever care is provided to a severely autistic nonverbal child, is the reason he was ostracized by the other Feshbach brothers.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh my God.
And that's ironically the reason he's so successful.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow. Or one of the reasons, I'll say.
Lena 1, according to Dr. Romani, trauma can cause narcissism. She has a YouTube channel dedicated to narcissism. Brilliant lady.
Wow.
That's
Get
interesting.
David Miscavige on that channel.
Kate Friend, welcome back, guys. Glad to see you again. For Mike, was LRH physically violent on the ship later on, or did he encourage violence, or was it all DM? Well, no, this goes back to the way we answered the earlier question. Hubbard, I know, hit people. Like, I was on watch with him at his home in La Quinta when he called Gary Weesey up to his office, walked outside, and slapped him upside the head.
No.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what? That makes total sense to me now. Because Dave used to beat the shit out of Gary
Weesey. I know. Gary Weesey was one of his favorite.
If he knew L. Ron Hubbard
non-mic targets,
then that was like, oh, there you go.
So that made it acceptable.
Wow.
And there was another thing that is a sort of a famous incident where David Miscavige let loose on whoever it was that was in the Gauss line at the time when he was supposedly handling the Gauss line, and he punched them in the face. It might have been Luigi, Mark. It might have been one of the other guys that was around then.
A tech guy, or was it Jason Bennick?
No,
Jason
it was it was a tech guy. Okay. And he wrote to Hubbard and said, look, I feel bad about this because I punched this guy, and you know, I probably shouldn't have done it, but this is the circumstances. And Hubbard wrote back to him something along the lines of, you know, every now and then you've got to let everybody know who's boss. You got to be the alpha dog in the room, and you did exactly what needed to be done. Don't feel bad about it.
Wow. So that was his free pass right there.
Used that. He had that, and he would use that. This is what the Commodore said to me.
Wow. That is amazing. I never heard that story.
There you go. That's what you come here for.
Yeah. And I used to work in the Gauss line.
Yep.
What is the Gauss line, guys?
It's the name of the company that makes the machines that make the high-speed cassettes.
Oh, okay.
It's a subject of many, many years of trauma and destruction and wasted money and you name it, across many generations of Sea Org members that worked at the international headquarters.
Yep. Lulu 92, my last grandparent passed away recently, and Mondays and Tuesdays on SPTV have been a welcome distraction. Love you all. Thank you so much. So sorry for your loss. I'm glad that we're able to do something to help.
Thank you.
Eat more pizza. I'm jealous of you guys. I was not born in a cult, so I don't have any stories. I'm not really jealous.
Yeah. You don't need these stories.
I wouldn't be jealous.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be the last one.
Awesome.
Tanya K. Greetings from Germany. Looks like I'm an alien here. Anyway, I love you guys so very much. Thank you for everything. Mike, regarding COS in Germany, any thoughts on Mrs. Ursula Caberta? Oh, yes, I have a lot of thoughts about Ursula Caberta. Ursula Caberta, like Bob Minton, was a person who did so much for so many people, even though she had no real dog in the fight. And what I mean by that was they were not former Scientologists. They never got experienced the abuses that Scientology metes out, and they didn't have their family broken up or whatever. She felt like she had an obligation to help people that had nowhere else to turn. And She did it for years. She was attacked relentlessly for it. She was slandered and smeared, perhaps like no other person in any government agency anywhere ever has been.
She did what the Aftermath Foundation is doing now.
Yes,
she did that from the German government.
Exactly.
She was helping people escape and getting jobs and reconnecting. And the best thing is that she did it using Scientology policies. She would call them up and say, this person said this, this, and this. And then Scientology would be like, well, what are you talking about? And be like, I have the person right here. And I just want to read from you the policy that L. Ron Hubbard wrote. And Ursula Caberta would read a Scientology German staff member, L. Ron Hubbard policies, and quote it to them and make them apply it in the benefit of the person she was trying to help.
Okay, guys, we've reached the end of our time for this week. So we're going to say so long for now. We will be back. SPTV is rolling. We are growing. We're expanding. Our audience is growing. Everything is looking up in the world of the SPs.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for supporting us. Bye, everybody.
See you tomorrow.